setting for bosses. That means that a boss may not even appear at all, and others may appear in multiple copies. But we have Beyond.
Ooh, we got a lamp in the sanctuary, just a normal heart container inside Link's house.
Interesting starts at the moment. Mentos briefly starting in Sanctuary, but only just enough time to go ahead and grab that lamp. Is this an Uncle Start?
I think
These
it
are
is.
a little more dangerous in Randomizer.
Yeah, they can. Let's see, we got a Beamos on the bridge. It looks like Sabo's farming for some bombs, too, it looks like, for the Kakariko stuff.
That's one thing about open mode. There's so many different starts that you can use to try to take on the seed, and every single one of them has a plethora of downsides to them.
Yes. I full well know that you're definitely the... you like to start at a... You have a bunch of different starting locations you like to go for, and we have a Pokey inside the Uncle Cave. Ouch.
Don't do Uncle Starts in Randomizer, kids.
Yeah.
Is what happens. It's like, it seems like a good idea, but there's so many shuffles where you're probably just going to get smacked in the face and get a code.
Mm-hmm. At least he got the 300 rupees from Uncle. That could end up paying off. Also, yeah, I was wondering if that was going to happen. Sometimes those bush guards can strike in the race game.
Oh dear, what came out of that bush? Because it was a lot more painful than a guard.
Yeah, for sure.
So, welcome to Randomizer. There is death. Lots of death. That is how the early games of these tend to go. I mean, there's a crystal roller on the bridge, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, definitely. I personally, whenever I'm playing Randomizer, I like to kind of take things a bit slower, which I know is, weird. It's unthought of to do that in a race like this, but sometimes, like, those deaths, when you're, like, very deep into a dungeon, just from being kind of, like, too fast and too reckless, can really eat up a lot of time, so it kind of benefits to take some rooms a little slower, just to kind of see what you have to deal with, and then kind of work from there.
I suppose it's important to note, since he did get bullied by that Pokey, Mentosman8, the top seed out of these two, is the one who chose the shenanigans, so any and all situations will be entirely his own fault. But this is fine.
Yeah, since this is a game 1 pick, this is the higher seed, which is Mentosman8 in this case, so... It looks like we have 3 crystals in the light world, too.
Oh my goodness, help! The eastern area is full of spikes!
Yeah.
Of various degrees. What was that, like 3 bouncing spike traps and one of the big yellow ones?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So, the curious choice about heading into Eastern Palace like this, since this is Randomizer, it's perfectly possible to, be able to complete this dungeon in one go, depending on the boss, but he still needs a weapon to actually hurt bosses.
Well, he has bombs that hurt some bosses, I guess, but yeah, finding a weapon would be very good.
You're trying to think who's actually vulnerable to bombs other than Vitreous.
Lamno, I believe. We do have a hammer, though, inside Blind's hideout here, though, so that's a pretty decent weapon.
Ah, yes, getting a nice little weapon to start things off. And in this mode, honestly, Randomizer is very good at making stuff like Gold Sword actually matter a bit more, depending on your settings.
Yes, it really does. Gold Sword, definitely way more valuable in Randomizer, I find, than just the regular mode. So it's definitely, if you get all those sword upgrades, it's very, very welcome.
And of course, one thing of note, since this is all dungeons, there's only so much that the pendants and crystals will matter.
That's
but
true.
Pendants are still important, so you know when you can go into GT to get your last progression item.
Yeah, pretty much.
All dungeons, of course, being very popular this tournament. It seems to be the preferred pick by almost all the top seeds.
Oh, and sab0tender taking a look at the chicken hut. It does have a hammer, so he can try to make a play through here, but got fast guards. And he's noping out of there.
Oh, chicken hut and Randomizer is always kind of frightening.
And we also know there is a unique item guarded by the hammer, by the way, as we just found out from a hint tile as well.
So that's most likely either Swamp Palace or Ice Palace, but there's a little scattering of few individual locations that require two, such as Hammer Pegs and Spike Cave and, spots like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You could very easily be the Boots hint, because you never know until you found them.
Oh, wow. You got Mimics, like Thieves, and Gibdos in here.
So this is why Eastern Palace is actually one of the harder dungeons in Randomizer, because there's so many more enemies per room in Eastern Palace than most other dungeons.
Yeah, definitely. And, if you come here without the lamp, thankfully they found the lamp very early. Doing these rooms in the dark could be pretty lethal.
Yeah, the lamp this early in an Randomizer is beautiful, because dark rooms have become, 10 times scarier than just doing them normally, because you don't know what's in there, what's running about.
Looks like Sabo did make it through the chicken hut just for 10 arrows, though, unfortunately.
Hey, that's vanilla. Nice.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's right. I almost forgot about that.
Oh, alright, so nothing coming out of Eastern Palace yet, and Kakariko had a couple of things, but not much, so they're both heading on down to South Shore at the same time.
Yeah. Looks like, in addition to that hammer, Kana Samaria seem to also be in Kakariko as well, so that's another pretty good find. There are some bosses that are weak against Samaria, so that's good to get.
Oh, hey, the fish are giving us money today.
Ooh, nice.
It's one of the only things that comes up in Randomizers. You'll see a lot of the fish just flopping above the overworld, which you can do two things. Either toss them into deeper water to save them and they'll give you something, or if there's one near Kakariko, toss it to the bottle vendor and he'll give you a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually super useful for early game bombs and Randomizer seeds.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, looks like we are going over to Mini Moldorm Cave next. I want to say Sabo's a bit more equipped for this than Mentos is right now, though.
Yeah, it's like Mini Moldorm Cave with just bombs is fine and with regular enemies, but
oh, well, okay, this'll be fine. Yeah, this is free.
It'll take the full set of 4 bombs, but I mean it's easier than the Moldorms themselves, and even got a bomb refill. It's
yeah,
what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that Randomizer loves to use for these kill rooms is those black and little cockroach enemies behind the walls.
Yeah.
Ice Palace.
Yeah, they appear a lot, and wow, this cave did not pay off very much at all. Just arrows, bombs, and rupees, and that's really about it.
Sabo seemed a little bit upset by it, leaving a block on top of the generous guy.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna have the long walk to Ice Cave, which, has a chance of being easier than the vanilla walk, because there may not be crabs, but there could also be other enemies that might be worse.
Sabo deciding to give whatever the buddies dropped today. It's single rupees, very useful. Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit easier than the crabs overall.
Yeah, this wasn't too bad. That mini Helmo is probably the most dangerous enemy that was there.
We did all that for 20 bucks.
Okay, so it looks like Mentos is finally going to be heading over to Kakariko now. Kind of ran out of his other checks at this current point.
So we're kind of running out of places to go at this point. It's either going to be escape, or... my goodness, it could actually be expecting us to kill the Eastern Palace boss.
That's true, yeah. That is something worth pointing out really quick. As far as Randomizer is concerned, just to make it so you don't get caught up in some of the little annoyances of having a enemy that's only killable by the bow and arrow or hammer or something. All kill rooms will have enemies that you can basically kill at any point. So you're never going to be like bow locked in an additional dungeon in a certain room where you have to kill all enemies. So Randomizer's tailored, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, and the Pokey gets sab0tender too.
Yeah.
The Pokey's got a lot of blood on its prickly body parts.
I guess.
There are no hands in this vision of the world.
The funny thing is, that's a Pokey could be our first Randomizer, joke boss, because there could be an item in that chest that progresses the seed.
I was ignoring it for now.
Understandable, very understandable. This way, if you die, you don't have to go all the way back to Link's house again.
Yeah, the easiest way to get past it is to just let the Pokey jump to the larger portion of that room so you can skitter around with his more space. Man, those thieves want those bombs. They want those bombs real well.
He has 700 rupees, too. It's like, why go for the bombs? He has all that money.
Well, clearly they want the high explosives.
That's fair.
Hey, there's the Hyrule Castle key, so we'll be able to go all the way to the back after picking up everything in the basement.
And that walk is a very fun walk in Randomizer.
Yeah, Eastern Palace and the sewers, two of the scariest places you can end up early game, and the game seems to be expecting at least one of them to get done.
Yeah, because I think at that point it's literally just Escape and Agina, and then, like he also said, the Eastern Palace boss as well. So there's not really a whole lot kind of forced into one of those two dungeons, potentially.
I think it's pretty safe to say that we'll be seeing, like, most likely a glove, I guess?
Yeah, I imagine that's the next progression we're going to have.
Either that or flippers, one of the two.
Something to get that Zora area, anyway.
Thankfully, due to the way Randomizer shuffles kill rooms, whatever you had to take out for keys and whatnot tends to be a pretty simple enemy. And a handy-dandy Lionel for a quick death warp.
Yeah, really nice.
Mento's getting creative with that boomerang. Letting it tail him so it stuns both the guards behind him.
Okay, so here we go. The long walk through the sewers. Let's see what craziness we're going to have in here.
The first room tends to be okay, but man, that second room, well, this isn't great to begin with. The guards have made their way into the secret exit. They're everywhere. People were wondering how the thieves got into Hyrule Castle. It's because all the guards are in here instead.
Yeah, really.
And this room actually ended up being really easy this time. Nice.
It does help that Sabo did get that Cane of Burna inside the chest in Zelda's cell, because that will kind of allow this to get through some of these sections without taking damage, which is good.
I saw that, Wallmaster.
Yep, Wall Masters in Hyrule Castle.
And the Risk game claims another life. Oh man, the bush enemies are just not being kind today.
They are not.
So we got Lionel, but the thing you actually need to take out is one of these burrowers.
Not even going to bother with that, Lionel.
Samo is clearly scared to death at this point, and well, can you blame him?
No, not at all.
Hi, Pimos. How's it going?
Ooh, I did not... Mentos just picked up that chest. There's the glove inside the Escape back sewer's chest, but I did not see what Mentos picked up. He did get the Pokey chest.
He got a heart piece, so by managing to get past the almighty Pokey of Doom and Death, it was just a heart piece.
Okay, well, the Sabo does have that glove, so he did get probably the most valuable item out of Escape with that, so that's good.
Glove in the back of Escape. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's not a place where you want to find it usually, but You roll with the punches sometimes.
So it seems we've gotten a pretty good doozy of a scene to start us off for this morning. Yeesh.
Yeah, it looks like Sabo will be heading over to Eastern Palace now, and he will probably be showing us that boss that we did not get to see from Mentos when he was over here.
Oh man, there's so many possibilities.
Literally any boss could be there at this point, so...
Also, Mentos showed us that, yes, you can actually take out the thieves in Randomizer, as long as the option's enabled. To make it so it's possible to actually get through rooms where they exist.
Yeah, the tournament will be allowing killable thieves, so...
If you have unkillable thieves in Randomizer, you have... It's your own fault of what comes to pass. Especially if damage actually happens to be shuffled.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It looks like Sabo is going for the Death Mountain play.
It makes sense. Like, you know, going to the end of Eastern, if there is nothing there and you can't beat the boss, it could be kind of seen as a bit of a time sink. So, gonna weigh out his options and check up here really quick, I imagine.
Considering how much of Eastern we've already seen from Mentos, I'm pretty sure he's making the right play right now. Mesite is our friendly neighborhood, everybody's favorite fish that has the next piece.
Well, that is in logic, so yeah.
Alright, Mentos has his blue cane and is headed on to go get his glove. So what sort of lovely hint do you think we're gonna get for the title today?
Probably Dodongo dislikes smoke.
I think I'm feeling go to the next room.
Ooh, well, we're gonna see what's on that hint because there's a flute over there.
It's funny, that gets us actually nothing at all right now, so there is most likely something either on the Eastern boss or Zora at this point.
Yeah.
Or it could just be Agana, because everybody scorns Agana. Alright, Sabo, what's the hint? Okay. Potentially useful.
Yeah, something to look forward to when we get Dark World access.
Trying to encourage people to actually start from Village of Outcasts instead of Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Dodge those Lionels, Mentos! Dodge them!
And he made it to the end as well. Ooh, okay. Gonna need to be careful with that Beamos, though.
Denied! So you think you're opening that secret passage? Not on my watch! This is getting a nice chunk of health to start off the seed as well, because
yeah.
things hurt.
Yeah, some of the things like I really like to see in Randomizer is we've already mentioned Lamp, obviously. Having a lot of health is nice. And honestly, I really like having a sword and a medallion of some sorts, just to kind of have like a room you can nuke very quickly if there's an enemy setup you don't particularly care for.
Oh my goodness. Randomizer is one of those times where it's really good to know what Ether one-shots, because Ether can be your best friend in this mode.
It really can, definitely.
It's like, oh, you don't want to deal with this ice physics room that's full of mini mold arms and some Gimdos? Well, there's an Ether for that.
Yep, exactly.
Sabo heading over to Agina first before the Zora. Gonna see if we can find that lovely moon pearl that's been among the missing.
Ooh, nothing there.
So it's most likely the Zora at this point.
Well, Zora or that Eastern boss.
So, I wonder if he's gonna go for the fake flipper. it's not too bad, but if you want to get all the way to Zora with it, then it's very bad.
Well, it looks like he's just gonna go the normal walk to Zora.
It's the safest approach. But
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna be in those waters on the way. So...
Probably one of the most hilarious things to attempt at Randomizer is actually pulling off the water walk so you can get the Zora ledge item.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, you've got to get through all of Zora's domain and not get hit by anything. Good luck. Because here we have many Humzors and many Moldorms and Enoxes and Crabs.
Ooh, and there's a sword on the ledge.
Is this going to be vanilla flippers? Probably not, but you can dream.
I got a question in chat. Is Armos in Logic? At this point, what do you mean I guess it depends on whether you mean the boss room itself or, like, if we find Armos in Eastern. I think you can beat Armos with the hammer. I'm pretty sure.
So this is actually... Oh, damn, it's just a Moon Pearl. But it's an interesting question because... the way Randomizer used to work, it was actually a patch that was applied to an existing, already created shuffle. But ever since this most recent version, as version 30 released onto the Randomizer website, it is now integrated into the generation. What this means is, yes, there could be an item that is currently in Logic on what would normally be the Armos Knights.
Right.
That's why you get things like a Crystal Turtle Rock with Ice Rod and Ganon's Tower.
Okay, that's good information to know.
Yeah, before you used to be able to try and decipher where, like, the bow and the ice rod was, depending on those bosses, but now the game understands that you can do those, and can make you do those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But let's see what's inside this hype cave here. Got a bottle of blue potion in the front. Ooh, fire rod. That's especially important in Randomizer. Not only can it take out, like, you know, some of the bosses and, you know, half of Trinex, it's also just a good weapon for a lot of bosses, too.
Yep. And heck, he'll help you out with a lot of rooms as well.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Although Sabo might need a bit more magic first.
Yeah, of course. He does have that blue potion, but I wouldn't use it just yet.
Yeah. Alright, looks like you may actually be heading for Pyramid Ledge and Catfish rather than anything else right now. So another interesting thing of noting, Pod's bow-locked side is no longer bow-locked because the enemies that would normally require you to have the bow are gone. However, you still need the bow to get to the boss because of that one statue you had to shoot in the eye.
Yep, that is very correct. And of course, hammer is still required for those pegs you have to hit in the first dark room with the last section. So, yep, you still need those two items for Pod in this in Randomizer.
And it looks like just Pyramid Ledge from sab0tender, so Catfish is nice and orphaned.
Looks like he's more interested in Eastern right now.
Huh, even after getting a hint about the Village of Outcasts. Okay.
Well, for all we know, that unique item could end up just being the single arrow, so...
It is true. Although they do have suspiciously 29 arrows. Right, thieves. I had to think about that for a second. So I think what might have actually done it for this Sabo is the Fire Rod, because all of a sudden, like, there's not very many bosses that you can't kill with this current item selection.
Yeah, I want to say right now the only one we can't kill is Trinex. Oh wait, no, Argus as well. We need the hookshot for that. But yeah, all the other bosses we can at least do something to.
Yep, it is theoretically possible to take out all the rest, since, of course, Fire Rod deals with Cold Stare nicely. Yeah, single arrow was Bitty Wolvorm, so that one is out of the pool at least.
Oh, yeah, we did get single. That's right. So yeah, could be net then. So.
Bug net, a medallion you don't end up needing, a fetch quest item like a shovel, all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, had to pick up some bombs so we can actually go through Hype Cave. Mentos is headed over there as well. Be interesting to see where he heads after this, with the knowledge about Village of Outcasts.
Kami, no, I don't think we've seen Lumberjack Cave just yet.
Yeah, early on, a lot of people won't check it until they have boots, so once those show up, I'm pretty sure we'll see a peek at the ledge to see whether or not they need to go deal with Aghanim right away or later. Because it is all dungeons. The wizard will be going down at some point.
That's true, yes, and that is a really cool thing about the all dungeons mode is that you can save Aghanim for like after Aghanim 2, because you're right at the pyramid, just mirrored to the other side and finish him there before you fight Ganon. So it's a really nice way to kind of route that in if there's nothing on the tree or if you don't need him for Dark World access.
Oh, looks like Skullwoods is the other 5-6 crystal. Alrighty. So, soon, we're almost there. We're almost to that eastern boss. We'll be able to see what is taking up residence in our most nice room.
Will it be Vanilla Armos or will it be Trinex? We'll have to see.
This is a nice little room to be introduced to.
Yeah, don't like the look of those Hinoxes, but everything else shouldn't be too bad.
Okay, so this is a bit of a risk here, using up his potion to get rid of these.
Oh, yeah, it is.
If it's Cold Stare on the other side of this door, then he just got rid of his only means of getting rid of the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's just Lamos. Okay, so we'll have our first dungeon done here in a moment, although Hammer Lambo kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have that fire rod ammunition.
Well, if he gets rid of like one or two of them, he can just use the rest of his shots on that.
True, and he's doing a very good job actually landing these hammer swings.
Yeah, and we got the hook shot on Digging Game.
That's a good prize, yes!
Yeah, we can take care of Argus now if Argus ever shows up.
So we're down to the infamous ice rod in terms of items needed for bosses.
It always comes down to the ice rod.
And a single buck for Sabo for taking out those Lambolas.
Yeah, we had to get rid of them at some point, so I guess that's the one thing we can take solace in.
$1.
Do you know for sure if the Digging Game counts as the Dark Village or not?
It does not. That only includes the brewery, chess game, and C-shaped house.
Okay. So that is not the unique item. There's still something there.
I think it might also include, like, Peg... Well, not Peg Cave. That has its own thing with the hammer clue. Yeah, it's just those 3 items.
Paradox Cave has the Titan's Myths.
Ooh, we're gonna get a whole lot of items up here right now, then, with that hook shot. Mentos making all the right overworld choices at the moment to get the most bang for his time. Also, one thing of note, since Sabo was using the blue cane on them, for those who don't know, if they haven't played very much Randomizer, Hinoxes are actually die to a single shot of your own bombs.
Oh, interesting.
So if you ever want to take them out quickly, if you don't have a decent weapon for them, just throw a bomb at them, it just destroys them instantly. It makes no sense, but it does.
Hey, it's like the Gibdos, where they can get stunned by the boomerang, but not the hook shot.
Yeah. This is what happens when a game programs things individually instead of having, some sort of generalization going on with your equipment.
Yeah, really.
Oh, archaic 90s games. Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Blue Mail, that's another welcome Randomizer find.
Yeah, having Blue Mail will help with everything that isn't named a spike trap. Oh, man, those crystal rollers, though. You never know how long of one you're gonna get when the randomizer decides to plop them in.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Look at that! It's like very...
Oh my god.
It's kind of rude.
Oh, okay, well, we already have both gloves, so we knew that at that point.
Mm-hmm. That one was actually referring to the mitts, since,
Yeah.
technically require a bomb for backup escape.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because you can also use the boots. That's right.
So, Tower of Hera, it's gonna be interesting. Like, by all means, we should be able to take out whatever boss is up here, but you never know. There could be a Trinex up there.
Yep. Randomizer, the search for Trinex.
Yeah, Trinex is sometimes. It's like every single time you go to a boss arena, it's like, please don't be Trinex.
Exactly. Oh, we have that information too.
Oh, that's mean. Doing the bombs have actually gave him a little bit more space to work with, so the thief didn't bonk him into the pit.
That's good. Okay, well, we'll see what our Tower of Hera boss is shortly. Oh, hello, Helmasaur. Oh, yeah. Helmasaur.
It's a little glitchy, but it's still good. It's still good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Helmsaur is actually not too bad on this platform. You do have to be careful once the fireballs start getting involved. And, if push comes to shove, you can always use that little hammer weakness on the mask. I mean, not hammer, bomb weakness.
We will have to land some hammer strikes once the mask is gotten rid of, though, because I don't think there's anything else we have that can damage the actual head.
That's actually pretty hard without a sword to extend your hammer's hitbox. Because you get about 2 pixels of clearance, and there's a pit right there in the middle that you really don't want to land in.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to be extremely difficult, because you have to get 4 hits with the hammer, and with just green mail, every hit he takes is going to lob off 2 hearts. So yeah, he has to do 4 hits here perfectly. I don't think this is happening. This is, actually too difficult. He did get 1 hit in, but...
You got another.
Desperately looking to see if he has any other potions. Not this time. Sadly, Burna does not actually hurt him.
Ah.
Got about halfway there. It was a valiant effort.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on Sabo's end, he is in Thieves' Town. Looks like he did come across silver arrows. Potentially the Village of Outcasts item. I admit I was not completely focusing on that Helma fight.
So, silver arrows were from Sick Kid, and
okay.
The unique item in Village of Outcasts was the bug net.
Oh, of course it was, yeah.
Props to our tracker today, keeping track of all that stuff that didn't get explicitly pointed out. Good job.
Yeah, thank you very much, tracker.
Makes our jobs a lot easier.
Exactly.
These anti-parries today.
Also, another thing, as far as Thieves Town's concerned, you actually have the choice to fight the boss immediately. You don't have to do the break the floor above to let light in Randomizer.
It's a whole new risk that you can come up with. Even when it's Crystal Thieves Town, you can choose to skip the entire backside.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Sabo's going all the way through the end first, which is understandable. Don't want to leave anything behind.
So, okay, with spike trap layouts like this and everything that's going on in Deathbound, like that anti-fair and Spiral Cave, Randomizer will teach you to make full use of the invincibility frames granted by using the hookshot. Because if you want to dodge something that just runs around like an anti-fairy, fire off the hookshot in some direction where it can go quite a distance. Just let the enemy pass through you while you're not vulnerable, and all is well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Get that chest, Sabo! Get that chest! You don't have to bomb the floor, Sabo!
I wonder if this is potentially like not knowing that in Randomizer. I'll have to ask him that later.
Most likely, but hey, if there's progression in the back, then he didn't even have to think about the risk.
True, very true.
And yeah, nobody's getting that hint in Thieves Town. Look at that. Not unless you want to use more magic on Blue Cane. Gotta say, we're getting some pretty top tier enemy layouts.
We really are, like, definitely.
I believe that was Bombos for Tour Rock as well.
That's what I saw too.
Alright, Hookshot Cave has the potential to be annoying. That is a Dark World bird. Don't be deceived by the look of it being a crow. It's probably gonna attack right. No, it's gonna wait patiently until you go right here. Nice and easy.
At least the hookshot one-shots him.
Well, so far, so nothing. Didn't get a whole lot for Dark Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, not really. Coming to the end of Thieves Town, though, we'll see the maiden will no longer be in her normal location.
She decided to go get a coffee. I mean, just select another boss to take her place for a little while.
Yeah. Oh, does get another bottle of blue potion. That is nice.
These free blue potions probably making the runners feel a lot better about some of their decisions.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like Mentos is actually heading all the way back up to Spike Cave. Oh, no, never mind. I think he's actually determined to run all the way back up to go take out Helmsar King.
And we have a vanilla blind.
Oof, that's actually terrible, just because Blind will never give you that scripted fight in this version of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
We'll always spawn at the top of the room. But hey, we got a can of burner, so everything's okay. And a blue potion. The only boss of the game vulnerable to this weapon, and it's almost comically so.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has to go to Spike Cave from all the way up here because he doesn't have the mirror.
I mean, you can just walk there as well.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, duh.
He really, really wants to take out Helmsar. At this point, it's personal, so...
Oh, okay, yeah. He wants to give Helmasaur another shot. I got it.
It's a serious vendetta going on right now, but I can understand. The source of whatever causes some tilt, you just want it down. You want it dealt with, because it's just taking up your entire section of conscious thought at the moment.
Ooh, there's there's another unique item in Village of Outcasts, the bow.
Well, that's Palace of Darkness fully open, so I think it's safe to say where the game's actually wanting you to go.
Yeah, and with silvers, like, that's a lot of enemies and bosses you can take out very easily, so pretty well set up for a good part of the seed at this point. Despite having no sword still.
pose a small shout-out to those of you who who enjoy this nonsense that is known as Randomizer. One of the devs for that Zarby is currently in the chat. Alright, here we go. Round 2 versus the almighty Helmzor King featuring Hole.
And hammer strats.
Makes you wonder, when are we gonna see that first sword? We've seen one, but we can't attain it. So where's the other? Alright,
Okay.
so Mentos really needs Helmzor to not just be hanging out over the hole like that.
Does get 2 hits right away.
Yeah, this is looking a lot better in terms of just getting the boss down, but Helmzor is determined to stay right there. He likes that hole. He's gonna keep his head right there. It's almost like he knows what his weak spot is.
Yeah, yeah, really.
He's just capping it. Enemy RNG being so cooperative today.
Ooh, almost got that hit.
Mentos must be getting kind of frustrated at the moment because Helmzor is just like, just giving him these little teasing pokes.
Oh no. Oh, he has another one. He has another one.
This is terrible. He won't move from that hole.
He got
there
him.
we
Okay.
Whew. You can just feel like how tense Mentos is getting during this battle. Also, that roller on Death Mountain is quite
Yeah. Just for a blue rupee though, but it is a crystal, so that is Mentos' first dungeon completed.
Oh my goodness, these boss prizes today. 5 rupees, 1 rupee.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, it was worth it for the mental endurance.
Yes, it was very well done.
Okay, we hadn't seen any other items all throughout Tower of Hera, so to the basement!
Oh, and that's right. Sabo will have the silver arrows, so he won't have to fight Helmasaur in the same way Mentos did.
That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Tile Rooms in Randomizer. They do one of many different sorts of patterns. I'm not actually sure what this one is.
An elephant? I don't know.
Quick! Somebody get out the Pictionary! Is that a snake? I guess so. It's kind of like a snake.
Oh, okay. It's the Zelda 1 level 4 map.
Okay,
Interesting.
okay. Would not have recognized that whatsoever. And once again, Spike Cave gets scorned. Poor Spike Cave.
Yep, he is fluting away and being done with Tower of Hera for good. Do not blame him.
Now, he'll be able to go to Village of Outcasts a little bit faster with that Titan's Mitt to allow him to skip all the running around nonsense and go straight in here. Oh no, Vet's just walked right by Sick Kid as well. I think it's safe to say there might be some degree of tilt after the Helmzor experience that just went on.
I would say he would do rage slashes, but he doesn't have a sword yet, so he can't really do that. So
We're 44 minutes in, and we have only seen a sword. Where's the first sword gonna be?
I have no idea. Probably Palace of Darkness at this point.
Oh, probably. I mean, they have hammer, they have lamp, and they have bow.
Yep.
Seems like the place to be.
It's 5 items in there, so
Oh, Swordless Helma. You're such a jerk.
oh,
Oh no! Someone getting the old drive-by swipe. What are those enemies called? I'm not actually certain. They just look like little wriggly cricket things.
He got him though.
Those jerks at Ice Palace? Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, that's how I think a lot of people identify them as. So
We'll be able to see whether or not Mentosman8 feels like taking a risk in here as well and just skipping the rest of Thieves Town after the front. Only time will tell. He'll miss an exciting, like, heart container, and that was about it. And an extra blue potion. Ooh. So I'm having some difficulties with things knocking him into holes right now. The how more aggressive the enemies are upstairs, that makes sense to me.
I also saw what a lot of people would probably most fear about Randomizer, the fact that dead rocks can be in other places now.
Yeah, and of course it spawns them in places with narrow corridors, just to
Yeah.
make it extra exciting.
If it's not a kill room, may as well just put them in there.
I've seen double dead rocks spawn in the Uncle passageway, and it's just the saddest time.
Yeah, that does not sound fun. Okay, he is going straight for the blind fight here.
Here's Blindy. So one thing of note, if you use your magic just right, you can take out blind with nothing more than the Cane of Urna.
It'll be close. I think he has enough to do it.
I think he was a little bit too early on... Okay, yeah, just enough. Well, meanwhile, on sab0tender's side, we'll be able to see a much easier finish to this fight once that mask is knocked off. Also, he has blue mail, so he's only taking 1 heart of damage instead of 2. But he does need to be careful long enough to get the mask off itself. One of the nicer things about Helm Sword is how much slower it moves during the earlier phases of the battle. Oh no! However, there are plenty of health hearts to pick up here. Run, Sabo, run! He did not reflip the switch to let him get the health. Now, depending on his confidence levels, it might have been a good idea to jump down that upper left pit to go to the fairy fountain. But he's gonna try it. He's gonna try for that no damage Helmsword King.
Oh no, he's Helmasaur found the hole too.
Look, this hole's his best friend. It's all he's got up here. He's been trapped in the top of this tower for who knows how many generations.
I guess so. That's a good point.
He's just like whispers his secrets down the hole and gets responses back up. I mean, what did you do?
Ooh, well, Mentos actually took a look at the hint that Sabo did not take a look at. Ether is being held by someone friendly.
That is very general, unfortunately. There's a lot of NPCs in this game, so...
Yeah, basically any NPC that can give you an item, whether it's a fetch quest, side quest, or something, that's usually what someone friendly applies to.
Oof, and Sabo is down. Helmsword King getting the best of everybody today.
Yep, but he has he has more health than he had before, so...
So, if ever you find yourself in a similarly sticky situation, there's a pit you can drop down on the top floor of Hera that actually takes you to a set of like 3 or 4 fairies at the bottom of Tower Hera before warping you back up. So, for example, we have empty bottles in the bug net to capture those to get some revival fairies, very good at Randomizer, and just to fill up your health.
Yeah, and especially since we have that net right now, so that would also be really nice to make use of at this point.
It has more uses than just killing on the one.
Yeah.
Alright, however, it is still Tower of Terra, so sab0tender gonna back up here in a hurry.
Yeah, it's a very quick dungeon, and, you know, because Mentos had to come back in to get the rest of the treasures, not going to lose a whole lot of time either, and Mentos had to double fight Helmasaur anyway.
Yep, he even made a like special trip up Tower of Terra to fight off Helmasaur King, so...
Mm-hmm.
There we go, he got his last item, so he's just gonna Death Warp on out.
And the mask is gone, and there he goes.
Couple of extra rounds, because Saba is a little bit displeased about Helmasaur's whole camping habits.
Hey, as long as the item doesn't fall in that hole, I'd be fine.
Oh, I want your item, do you? Come and get it!
He jumped down, it's not there, then you go back up, and he's already respawned, and he's still there.
Alright, finally get to see some hammer pegs. There we go. Just some bombs.
Ooh. Glad he got that rock up in time, because those enemies were about to grab him.
Alright, so we have that handy-dandy flute. It makes sense. Might as well go ahead and grab the frog, drop that off real quick before most likely heading to Palace of Darkness, I'd expect.
Yeah, that's definitely calling his name, I imagine, and he has the Eastern Palace boss to finish off as well, so that this would be a good time to just kind of get both of those dungeons down.
Now, is he gonna remember Sick Kid?
Okay, he is. That's good.
There we go. He'll get his silvers as well. Nicely equipped.
Of course, could just again be a reminder that he had to fight Helmasaur without that, but...
It's like, oh sure, it was just here the entire time. Who could have seen that one coming?
Yeah, really. We'll see if this is the someone friendly the hint was talking about.
Oh.
Nope.
Nope. They're just showing you who supplies all the bombs in Hyrule.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because there were bombs in the hammer pegs, which is not too far from there, so...
Alright, it looks like Sabo's actually going to go ahead and check Spike Cave. Or not, he's going to go check Spiral Cave and then check the rest of East Death Mountain. Poor Spike Cave.
And Mentos is going to be checking the Mire area. Ether. We need Ether.
It's always kind of hard to tell in all the rain, but yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
There's our boss go mode. Well, if you want to count Ganon and needing a sword, but as far as normal bosses,
We got the flippers. We can finally go get our first sweaters.
Yes. He planned it that way.
Goodness. Mentos managing to choose the worst place to go with those mitts in regards to fighting bosses. Oh. Here we go. Let's go. He wants that sword. He wants it right now.
I do not blame him.
He's tired of this swordlessness. It's just off he goes.
Oh, we're also going to get the waterfall cave check as well, because I don't think Sabo did that earlier.
Watch there be another sword. Aww. I was hopeful for a second there. So Myra shed with all the value, with the ice rod and the flippers.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good value.
And this is a strange point to be so early in all dungeons, Randomizer sees, knowing that no matter which boss we encounter, they can be defeated.
That's true. That definitely has some sort of comfort value for sure.
It's true. This means it's time for the Ice Palace play, right?
It's available. And the back of Skull Woods is available now too. Now we have a sword as well, so Mentos has some options.
This one we're getting pretty close to having everything we need. Need ourselves a shiny mirror, a couple of medallions, and yeah, possibly the boots. It's also looking more and more likely that that unique item requires the hammer hint was actually indeed for the boots. Alright, here's Sabo right behind, getting that ice rod and flippers to get themselves all equipped and ready to go.
Now, that is one tiny advantage Mentos will have over Sabo, knowing the ether hint, because if it gets to a point where all they need is the ether medallion, Mentos will be able to kind of narrow his search down to what like NPCs he still has to talk to, while Sabo would still be essentially checking everything.
Oh my goodness, if it ends up being catfish. We're almost out of NPCs. And Sabo already checked Pyramid Ledge, so his catfish is really orphaned at this point.
Yes, it is. It'd be nice if he could get like the mirror from Palace of Darkness, and then that way he could go up to Catfish Mirror and then maybe take out Ice Palace then. Just kind of a way to kind of maximize the routing because there is that whirlpool.
One can dream. Speaking of Ice Palace, Mentosman's heading in right now.
Oh wow. 3 hints in here. That one's not gonna be relevant.
Well, it's nice to actually check off a couple of locations. Now he doesn't have to check.
Yeah, that's true. It does cross off that location, so he doesn't have to worry about using the time to get to that. That is a good point.
So something to note is, someone didn't even so much as dip Skullwood, so he's coming in here with the green mail and a heart full of hope. Alright, so... Wow, that is quite an enemy selection. This next room coming up that has the switch to press tends to be one of the scariest rooms in the entire game in Randomizer, so let's see what we get.
Oh my gosh!
High security! Red Mentos!
I've never seen that many demos in a room ever.
Oh boy! Well, I think I've seen 4, maybe once. Maybe it was in Parallel Worlds.
That sounds like something that would be in Parallel Worlds.
Oh. So, of course, demonstrating here that the Bowlock side of pod is no longer Bowlocked, because it's just regular enemies.
Mentosman finding out there is a glove in the sewers, which he already knew about.
Great! Now we've gotten the hint for both gloves.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, hints. Oh, hints. Your uselessness is mind-boggling sometimes.
I know.
So now that these two have managed to get their first sword, I wonder how long it'll be before they get their second one. I mean, Sabo didn't even go pick his up yet, so he's still in here without a sword.
Oh, wow, yeah, he didn't.
So I get it, it's an extra trip, you don't want to spend the time, but I mean, like, it'd be helpful.
That was a lucky mini Moldorm movement from Sabo. Crawled in that little one-tile square that couldn't get out, so Just easily just kill him with the hammer.
Never underestimate what mini boulderms can get out of.
True.
Like in Mini Boulder Cave, how they somehow managed to cross over to the center platform.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's a Wall Master in Ice Palace. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah, these dungeons, they do consist of wall masters more often, so you gotta be on the lookout for that. Especially in a dungeon like Ice... Yeah, especially in a dungeon like Ice Palace. And, oh, there's the mirror inside Ice Palace.
That is all of... Oh, hey, unique item requires the hammer. Maybe that was just a mirror hint.
Could be, yeah, that's true. But yeah, Swamp is now on the table for Mentos as well.
So at this point, we're really just looking for medallions.
Yeah.
Possible we know that one of the ones we need is on somebody friendly. That could be Hospital Catfish, and that's about it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be Sahasrahla because, you know, Bombos is not going to be locked by that. So if we find Bombos, Turtle Rock is essentially finishable.
Oh, actually, Magic Bat's another one now that that powder's popped up from pod.
Yeah, Magic Bat, that's one.
Most definitely friendly, but he tries to curse you. I think we might have different definitions of friendly. Oh, you want that magic, do you? Let's just take even more magic than you got from picking it up. So, Palace of Darkness giving us probably one of the most useful items in Randomizer, the magic powder. And, well, hey, there's no sword.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we have a second sword now.
Definitely a fair bit of value in here just from a safety standpoint. Because you see anti-fairies in the worst places in this mode. So just being able to get rid of them is so helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, since this is normal mode, that's a lot of extra free health that you wouldn't expect to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, it's almost time. Of course there's an anti-fairy in here. And that's only 5 enemies. Yup!
Oh, that was close. You do not want to get picked up by Wall Master there.
One thing you should always do when getting into this last room is count the number of enemies. If you only see 5, expect a Wall Master's coming.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And Mentos playing it safe so he doesn't get picked up while he's picking up that stone, so that's good.
Oh, that's such a rude combo, too. Helmsor 2.
Oh, hi. I love the pink mask, though. It's a nice little touch.
Oh, it looks beautiful. It totally brings out the color of its scales.
Yes, it does.
Just a little bit easier when Helmsor doesn't have a hole to camp. All is well.
Okay, so that is 3 dungeons done for Mentos, and Sabo's on his way to his 4th.
I guess the question is he going to pick Swamp Palace, or is he going to head into Pod? Because, I mean, there is no bad choice in all dungeons, just... if he still remembers that unique item by the hair, but that could still be the boots hint. So, maybe you want to go to Swamp? Who knows?
We'll see where he flutes away to. Looks like he is going to...
Swamp Palace!
Swamp, yep.
Seems like a good play.
Oh yeah, definitely. Could be also him, you know, expecting to maybe get all the items he needs before Palace of Darkness and maybe clear it a bit faster as opposed to getting every item. It's always a possibility.
Oh my goodness, this turtle room. Aw, an off-screen fairy that someone didn't get to notice until it was too late. I love the, like, almost random selection of items that do and do not show up in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, hearts, yeah, you can see those, but bombs, nah.
Anyway, we have a very orange Vitreous in Palace of Darkness.
You know, I know they talk about the power of the sun and whatnot, but you probably shouldn't be drinking that much Vitreous.
Yeah, probably not.
Does anybody have some clear eyes handy? Think he needs it.
Okay, another hint. The magic mirror requires the hand. Okay, well, hey. We knew that already,
Fake.
but that actually would have been... Yeah, that would have been a nice hint. Like, if you checked this before, like, just going to check the hint.
That's actually rather nice, having it in the front of Swamp. It's just like, hey, you want to be able to get in here proper? Go to this place.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for that. It might have made it so Spike Cave didn't get... Wait a minute. Unique item requires the hammer. Why didn't they go to Spike Cave, though?
Oh, that's a good point.
What, the boots have been there the whole time? I mean, statistically, they're probably in here, but they might be in Spike Cave. So I guess one thing that's interesting of note, Swamp Palace actually doesn't have a whole lot of room for randomizing its enemies. Many of the rooms, you will still only see water skimmers and puddle and the bubble things, just because the water really, really messes with enemy AI, like, really badly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Most of them
those enemies that kind of skim the water, like, some of the times, like, if they're in a different room, they'll just, like, start just floating off camera. Like, it's pretty funny.
Many of them can't even move, although I discovered the other day that Lionels can move on water just fine.
Yeah.
So, finding anything interesting in here? I mean, Bombos has to turn up eventually, right?
Yes, that's still one thing we're looking for. You know, you mentioned the boots potentially being required for Desert Palace. That can still come into play, but we can get into Desert Palace with what we have right now. So that's another dungeon too we can look at some point.
Go check it out, see if we can actually complete it or not, whether or not the... Because, I mean, requires the hammer does include left side of Ganon's tower, so they could just be in there today.
Yeah, and with, you know, Bombos being required for basically the green pendant, Bombos could be in Ganon's tower for all we know. It just depends on what the ether ends up being at.
At this point, I'm kind of expecting ether to be on Sahasrahla, but I mean, it's 50-50,
Right.
so...
Yeah, either that or Magic Bat at this point. Just Purple Chest doesn't account for someone friendly, right?
I don't think so. I'd have to look up the old hint list on that one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Sabo getting his Master Sword. One of those things where, while it won't help very much with bosses, it will certainly help with all these enemies that are just in places where they just do not belong.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this thief. How effective he is as he's running backwards.
It does look like Sabo is going to be going to Ice Palace next, so he's going to be able to get that mirror, which is good.
Good job, left side swamp. Always worth the visit.
I know, right?
$20! Oh, baby! If it wasn't for that hint we got earlier in the game, I don't think Mentos would have gone for it.
Probably
Everything
not.
wants the boots. wants those boots so bad? We're not allowed to have boots. We mustn't have fun.
And Swamp's a good place for the boots. A lot of the rooms can take quite a bit to get through. They just kind of speed up time a little bit.
Although, boots do lose a little bit of their value in Randomizer, because you don't really know where it's safe to dash anymore.
That's another fair point. Especially with only fighter swords, there's some enemies we can't really push out of the way.
Oh my goodness, those fire bars.
This isn't a Mario game. What's going on here?
So you're saying that we shouldn't be hearing a very repetitive, like, 10-second loop castle theme going on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, bye,
All right,
thief.
Let's see how sab0tender handles the high security switch room. He's just going for it. He's gonna hit that switch and just try to get out of here as fast as he can. Whew.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Sound the alarm! Prepare the eyes! Oh. Good old glitch stairs and Swamp Palace going on.
Yeah.
Can't really avoid him if you don't have the ability to go fast.
Ooh, cape. Good. Decent safety item. I'd definitely take that.
The unit kind of requires the hammer.
True.
So that's two possible options that him could have been talking about right now. This is what happens when they're all very general. Ooh, Mentos walking alongside that anti-fairy and losing a chunk of his magic. Bye, thief.
Okay. Our tracker Nick Boy pointing out that purple chest does not account for someone friendly, and there is Bombos.
So, chances of Ether being on Sahasrara just skyrocketed.
Yeah, I would honestly not be surprised if Mentos makes Turtle Rock play next immediately.
He seems to be, like, being really aggressive about going to whatever his most recently unlocked dungeon is. Probably hoping that he can go mode a couple of these.
That tends to be a very strong play, especially for version 30. Mentosman being known for being the winner of 2 of the qualifier races he did during the qualifier stage. And, you know, this is generally how he plays this version, and usually works very well for him, so I can definitely see how that's a very effective strategy here.
Yep, essentially trying to essentially spend the least amount of time doing anything that's optional. Just focuses purely on what progresses, the crystal count in his game, or in this case, the dungeon count, and just really not getting distracted by anything else until it's necessary.
Yeah. I also know Mentos is definitely, you know, whenever it comes to Swamp Palace, once you get access, and if you still need items, he will definitely go straight for it, because just of how much value is, or could be in there.
Alright, here we go! Turtle Rocks are coming! You know, it's gonna be sad if he doesn't find another sword before Palace of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Do need at least 2. Ganon is a little bit fussy about whether or not he'll take damage from something.
Yes, he is.
Just kind of looks at your little plastic sword and he's like, ha! Come back with me when you actually have the sword of Evil's Bane, boy!
I still just find it weird that with the Sword of Evil's Bane, like, you still have to do spin attacks. Like, you can't even just do normal strikes with it.
Well, you know, it's been sitting on that pedestal for a few generations. It's got kind of rusty.
That's fair.
I mean, this is why you had to collect special orbs to power it up over the course of a long, amazing adventure, right? Wait.
Yeah. Oh.
Something has me thinking about something else. Could it be our little friend on the right? Pardon. There are times where I must be a dork and it is uncontrollable. Sab really just wanting Hinox to move out of the way.
The flute is in plain sight. We knew that.
These hints today, just
I-
fantastic.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten any joke hints yet, honestly.
We did get one in Palace of Darkness about race games not having spoiler locks.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't see that one.
Oh, Sal, be careful. There it is. Sal, with that magic powder, doesn't have to worry about this nearly as much as Mentosman did.
Does need to keep watch for that. Yep. Okay, he got it.
He's good to go. All 16 of his hearts filled up. It's just Elmsware Kings. Be easy peasy for him. To answer your listen chat, we do not know if boots are required yet. Nobody's gone to Desert yet to find out. So it could just be in GT.
And with the way Turtle Rock is laid out, could be a case where, what? Oh wait, no, I guess it couldn't be because, yeah, again, nothing in Turtle Rock's considered blocked by Hammer by the hints, right?
Yeah, thanks to inverted mode, since the hints try to keep all the different modes in check.
Okay, so yeah, we know that Boots will not be in here then.
And heck, who knows? Maybe the actual Boots has just been hanging out in Desert Palace or Agatara all this time, or even Miserable.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we've seen both Mirror and Magic Cape that are hammerlocked, so who knows what that hint was referring to. Looks like Sabo is following in Mentosman's footsteps at this point. He's having a little bit easier of a time of it due to having the Master Sword, though, and already has both Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace down, so things are looking pretty okay for him right now.
Yeah, it'll definitely just come down to the, really the Ether Medallion, since he does not have the same information that Mentos has, so we'll have to see, like, what he decides to check that will, you know, put him on that path to where that Ether Medallion could be.
And it's funny, at this point, two of the things making the biggest difference for how much smoother Sabo's run is going right now, the Blue Mail and the Magic Powder are both helping him out a ton.
Yeah, Mentos is taking a lot of damage, and, you know, doing great despite that, but yeah, it's nice to always have that comfort, especially in Randomizer, of just having fairies and just more defense in general.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, that was some tight dodging, though. Meant to
Really
show why
was.
he's been surviving. Look at the start of this room. Not 3, but 4 water skimmers for your excitement.
I love how he immediately knew that they were the shadow creatures in that room, too.
Yeah, it's like, this room is suspiciously empty. Where are they? Fun fact, whenever, like, if you feel like waiting a bunch of time, Bombos will kill them even if they are in the wall. Same with Ether, so... If Ether wasn't so deeply hidden in this scene, that would be the best choice for dealing with the wall crawler crickety black things.
Okay, Mentos Man gonna be checking out Mimic Cave.
Using that handy dandy pick to get a health refill, always nice.
And yeah, as you can see, some of the blocks are missing in Randomizer. This just makes it able to get to those enemies over there if they happen to get stuck and, you know, not moving out of the way.
Yep. But cleverly arranged, so the hammer pegs are still blocking the door.
Yeah.
I mean, this does technically require the hammer, but it's a piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Where could that ether be? I mean, we're pretty sure we know where it is, but you never know.
Yeah, if Sabo does go straight for Turtle Rock and then decides to check, Green Pendant on the off chance that could be it, he'll be fine. But again, just having that information is definitely going to be key for Mentos here.
I'm still curious if it's going to end up being Magic Pad. Because that still hasn't been checked.
Yes, it has not been checked. That's correct.
You can also just be the mushroom reward if that shows up, because, the witches are friendly.
Yeah. That's probably why Mentos is, still checking stuff despite, knowing that he has that information. Because, yeah, if it is on the mushroom, then you don't want to leave stuff behind and have it still be in Turtle Rock.
Look, guys, at this point, the only thing the Pedicle could have of any use is the boots. So it's pretty close to dead. I guess it could have, like, the item that leads to Ether if it's the mushroom. There are possibilities that aren't great. Might be safety door time after getting a laser to the face.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Sabo gonna very quickly take down the Armos Knights inside Swamp Palace.
Hey, they're the right color for the palace.
Yeah,
Isn't that
I know.
nice? Maybe they did that intentionally to go alongside of their intricate dance routine.
You're gonna get some more boss intel here in a minute, though. Gonna be seeing the Turtle Rock boss. Probably a case where you do not want to see the vanilla boss here. Or a Wallmaster.
Look at this tall post knight. It's like, oh, you want to use Kata Samaria to hit the switch in a handy fashion, huh? No.
Nope.
Not happening. Ask again later. And yep, sab0tender's falling straight after Mentos, so whatever Mentos gets, Sab will be getting too.
Hey, it's Helmasaur again.
Helmasaur the Third! This time it's magical!
It's magical that he's the vanilla color, at least.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's a room with spikes.
Probably, yeah.
It goes down as easily as the second one, so you feel like the scene's just kind of rubbing it into Ventus's face at this point.
Yeah, a little bit. That's the vibe I'm getting, definitely.
It's
Hey,
a lovely book, so
with that green pendant, he can go straight down to turn that in and then also take care of both Eastern and Palace of Darkness, so...
seems like an advisable play, so you'll be able to check on all the hospital stuff all at the same time, except he's already been in there once. But he'll be able to finish off Eastern.
Yes, he will.
Oh, he's just gonna go ahead and... Wow, okay. He's just gonna turn in the green pendant and see if he can go straight to Meyer instead. We were talking about those aggressive plays, and this one's, like, maximum aggression. He really wants to go mode pod.
Yeah, and I can understand when you have an opportunity like this, you definitely want to take it against sab0tender, who does do a lot of racing in the Link to the Past randomized community, and there it is, the Ether Medallion.
So, good for Sabo. This is going to take him straight to Ether, and he's just... everything's kind of fallen into place for him at this point. Because of the Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace difference, this is still very close.
Yeah, it really is. There's still the question mark of the boots and if they will be. Looks like he's actually going to Desert right away just to see if that is going to be a requirement or not.
He wants to know whether or not he's in sword mode.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand.
And see, he knows where that. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't know where a sword is. Because that's the sword he has, the one at Zora.
with the fact that we still haven't seen any other swords, it could be safe to go for the old. Oh!
Ooh.
Does this hint say where the boots are?
Well, that is actually a good hint because you know exactly where the big key to Meyer is. So.
Oh, so you know where the boots hint probably is then.
Where is it?
Aga Tower or Misery Mire. So it's the last two left. Or it could be
wow.
Dark World Shopping Mall, actually. The mythical Dark World Shopping Mall hit. For now, Mentos is gonna have to hope that he comes across those boots, because otherwise, Desert Palace is not getting finished.
Oh yeah, Lumberjack requires boots, so we'd need boots for that.
So we got everybody's favorite combination of Desert Palace teasing you. You get the small key from the map chest, and then his map and compass on right-hand side.
Ouch.
It's just rude, game. It's just rude. So yeah, at this point, that is the only item we're looking for, so I think it's going to be pretty much a case of, for the next little while, sab0tender just following wherever Mentosman goes, because this has been pretty linear so far.
Yeah, looks that way. You know, I guess boots could be the magic bat item then, maybe.
Quite possibly. I mean, there's no reason why not at this point. They could be anywhere that isn't GT. Or somewhere that's boot locked. We actually get a rather merciful first room of Misery Mire today.
We'll see how Meyer 2 is, though. A lot of Hinoxes in this room.
So you get two choices here. You can either fire silver arrows and everything, or you can use bombos. Either or. And now that Mentos has equipped that ether medallion, if he knows who it works on, there's a lot of rooms that could just be insta-cleared with it.
Mm-hmm.
Still no half magic, though, so the medallions aren't the most spammable yet.
Dimensive Graveyard was not checked, but we know that it was not going to be anything of major importance, so don't have to worry about that. I don't think K45 was checked yet, though.
Not yet. These two have been going pretty aggressive on the dungeons, and I can understand.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks to that Desert Palace hint, we know that the left side of Misery Mire here has the big key. It's just a matter of finding out where those two items are.
So if I were Mentosman, I'd be hoping for that big key to be in the room north of the torch room, just so you don't have to do the cutscene room at all.
Though the cutscene room might have valuable information about our boots.
That's true, there is a hint there.
Yes, the perfect item, now that we're already done with Turtle Rock. So the Mirror Shield is especially useless in Randomizer because, go figure, there's not very many red mimics in Randomizer most of the time.
Yeah.
You see Mentosman kind of thought briefly about going downward for the hint, but he's gonna just decide against it.
Yeah, I guess at this point, like, there's really not a whole lot left to check. So at that point, has a potential of just running into the boots, like even as a boss item or something. So
Yep. And since he still hasn't done all of Pod, he's probably just figuring they're in there or something.
yeah, Pod's a dungeon that you generally have to go through quite a bit of it before you get the big key anyway. So may not need that.
Looks like the second item's on Vitreous, because of course it is. Or, whoever happens to be our Vitreous stand-in for today.
And Sabo going for his third match against Helmasaur.
I swear, if we have at least one more Helmasaur King in Ganon's Tower as well, this is gonna get ridiculous.
We haven't even seen Trinex or Cold Stare yet, and those are probably, at least in my opinion, some of the more annoying ones to find. So,
especially for well, actually, with Fighter Sword and Master Sword, Argus are about the same. So,
yeah.
And here's an unfortunate effect of Randomizer. The old spooky action glitch for Myers, a lot harder to pull off when you don't know what enemy is going to be the thing you have to try and land fire rod shots on.
Yeah.
Like, in this instance, it's theoretically possible to get it to work with a Hinox, but he'd have to be very cooperative and move far enough down for you. Alright, and since Sabo does not have the information about Ether, he's actually going to go ahead and check Ether Ether Tablet, and possibly Spike Cave instead. So we get a couple of extra checks here. We put that shiny new book to use.
And we have another Lamolus fight in Misery Mire.
Oh.
Okay, still got the one cycle.
Bye, Lanmos. Oh, great.
It's time for some digging, folks.
Oh my goodness, Spike Cave gets scorned again.
Wow. Spike Cave, why?
I swear, if the unique item is behind the hammer hint that's been pointing to boots in Spike Cave this entire time, there will be laughter. It will be maniacal. Sabo setting up for the Skullwoods into pedestal play makes perfect sense.
Looks like Mentos has the same idea as well.
Though,
he doesn't have the other pendant though, so never mind. You can at least check it,
yeah.
I guess.
Mentos really, really, really does not want to go do Pod. So who likes lag? Because there sure is a lot of it going on Sabo's side with all these cards.
Oh, if Mentos does search through here, he will finally get that blue mail that he's been not having.
Looks like he's heading straight for the back, though, so...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least Mentos does have the book, so he'll be able to check the pedestal at the very least on the way out. Game can't take it. The sprites are flickering out of control.
Okay, so we are going for Skullwoods now, and one boss I've really found annoying in a recent seed where I played Randomizer. Argus can actually be a very annoying fight in Mothula's arena.
Oh, yes, it can. Like, trying to... It's like, we all know a few people know the risk of grabbing an Argus puff from the bottom, where it might actually hit you before you can hit it with your sword. Well, now that's reached a whole new level of nonsense with the conveyor belt going on.
Yeah. Not to mention the arena is just smaller in general, too, so it's always...
Here we go. Sab0tender heading on in. So here's a funny thing about the modular arena in particular. Oh, you got the easiest one. Here's what happens to polar Moldorm when you put him on a conveyor belt. He can't beat it.
He can't.
Too much for.
He also has 3 eyes, too.
Aw. Poor thing. He's just trapped.
Yeah,
Trapped in the corner.
Poor Moldorm.
Okay. Another fetch quest boss item. Why not? Let's keep stacking them.
Yeah, really.
Oh, poor Moldorm. Now we get to see it again in stereo.
With a hammer, too.
So, something that's interesting about the Skullwoods boss arena in Randomizer, certain bosses, depending on whether you drop in the top or bottom of the pit, will actually hit you no matter what. Like, you can land on top of Argus, for example.
Ooh, just a heart piece from the pedestal.
Oh, the boots are still out there.
They are. And we need them.
Bye, Pid. So, Salvo's getting a little bit frustrated trying to find that ether. I wonder how long it'll be before he gets over to good old hospital. Sabo, stop trying to destroy the world with magic powder on the witch. Have you seen what that does?
Ooh, not on the witch. Yeah, he has the right idea, though. He's checking NPCs, so...
Go to 5. It's not 5. Well, I guess he's off to check purple chests, since that got over him by both of them this time.
Mm-hmm.
So this could end up being pretty good for Sabo if he ends up finding the boots before finding Ether Medallion.
We actually don't know what Lunchbox has, Nuistra. We haven't found a hit for that, so that could very well be the boots we're looking for.
Because, yeah, we got this, we got K45, we got Bombo established. Sabo's just going to do the entire southwest loop right now.
Yeah. It looks like Mentos is going to be checking some of the things that he didn't get from the same loop, so...
Yep, so, I mean, he hasn't done hammer pegs yet, so this is going to be another case of Sabo just tailing right behind Mentosman.
I thought someone did do hammer pegs, though.
Yep, and Mentos did it earlier
okay.
alongside the Smith.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Gotcha.
Mentos going for the fake powder! Oh, man! If this works, I swear.
Well, again, it'll save him time in Palace of Darkness, so... Ooh, right color, wrong item.
The game loves doing that. It's like, are you looking for something red?
Why, yes, I am.
Well, here's something red. Don't spend it all in one place!
Careful over there.
I get curious at this point. It's just like, I'm still looking at Spike Cave. It is still like just staring me in the face at this point. It's just like, you've both scorned it multiple times. This means it's there, right?
Yeah, it's right there. So I can definitely feel you on that.
I mean, it has to be. They've both been scorning it. It's just the way of the randomizer for that to be the last location they check. All right, let's see if it happens to be the shovel this time.
Again.
Oh, so much red, but not the right red.
That's green. Colder.
Bongo's tablet could be really bad for Mentos, since the only two
There it
randomized
is.
is purple chest.
Okay, well, Sabo will be getting that very shortly, but he still needs the ether, so needs to be reminded of just he has that green panda he can turn in.
Yeah, but now he's gonna get the boots, so he's gonna go do King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks and Desert Palace all before checking Sahasrahla.
And
Da-da-da-da.
is Mentos looking for potentially another sword?
He's definitely after another sword. Just 20 more bucks.
It's like, I have the boots now, you can stop taunting me with those red rupees.
Could it be a sword on a tablet? Let's find out. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, we would all like you to stand up for the Book of Bait Dora. Oh, this is super convenient. Since he does have that book, hey, let's just go straight into desert.
Yeah, and after he finishes Desert, like you mentioned, he does have the bonk locations, but those don't take too long. He should be basically pushed to Sahasrahla fairly soon.
And in this instance, since Mentos did those anyways looking for a sword, it's no time lost to go do them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just be evened out.
So yeah, this is still very, very close.
It's kind of the funny thing about. Oh man, he got the small key first. Oh, Sabo, this is going to hurt in a second. It's like, I got this wonderful small key, and now you're going to give me a map and compass like a jerk. I'm just picking up all the pots.
Yeah, chat's talking that, potential sword inside Ganon's tower. Very, very likely at this point, just with how many locations are in there right now.
Yeah, we only know the whereabouts of 2 of them, so if there's not one in GT, I'll be stunned. That said, it could end up being Master Sword Ganon versus Tempered, and that's a decent chunk of time.
So, there could be a sword in Spike Cave.
Oh my goodness. It's like the one overworld location that hasn't been checked at this point.
Yeah.
Catfish, of course.
Oh, and yeah, Catfish probably has the other one then.
Oh my goodness, that would be so painful if it ended up being the most out-of-the-way overworld locations with the other swords, and then poor Mentosman has to just look. But that's pretty statistically unlikely, so he should be fine. Should.
Keyword should.
Yes, this is the interesting thing. This is the other 5-6 crystal, so Sabo will probably head to Pyramid Fairy before he heads to Sahasrahla.
Well, that's right, yeah.
But I mean, he could find another sword.
That's true. Hi, Cold Stare. Haven't seen you yet.
Kinda a little low on the old magic there. There we go. Spare blues are always vitally important in Randomizer because you never know when you're gonna get Trinext or Cold Stared. Swing Animus. Oh, this is gonna suck. So, with only Fighter Sword, Mentos has to get this figured out with just the hammer.
Thankfully, Hammer does do decent damage to Cold Stare, but yeah, that hitbox. Ugh.
Yep, and its relative slowness when the ice pops are coming down at you. I mean, with blue mail and this many hearts, it's fine, but it's still annoying.
Oh, for sure.
What's with these? What is with these boss drops? Fetch quests and small amounts of rupees, and all the fetch quests led to rupees.
Yeah, we did get the book from the the Turtle Rock boss.
Yep, mushroom, shovel, and hammer, all boss items. And Sabo having a much easier time with Cold Stare with that lovely Master Sword of his. Getting the double spins off in the corner, and always will.
So yeah, with that, Sabo only has one dungeon. Actually, not true. You still have Ganon's Tower, and we still have to do Aga Tower on top of all of this as well, which we'll just easily do right after we finish Ganon's Tower. But as far as Crystal and Pendant dungeons, Sabo is one left, and Mentos has the Eastern Pod combo.
So Slim, how do you feel about stair climbers?
They're all right.
Because you're going to be doing a whole lot of that in a bit.
Yep.
2 entire tall towers to climb and a mountain to climb. There's going to be a whole lot of working those glutes.
Yes, definitely.
Well, the time has finally come for Mentosman to go ahead and get this dungeon dealt with. Honestly, at this point, I'd probably put him a little ahead, because Sabo is going to be a while getting to checking Sahasrahla, what was checking Pyramid Fairy and whatnot first.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, he does know where the big key to Meyer is going to be. He did find that hint, so he can, definitely head straight to that big key and go from there.
Yeah, he's really going to need... Nice. And he's really going to need to head to Sahasrahla right after Pyramid Fairy, or this could get dicey.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes to Catfish and finds a sword out of it, that would be nice. But yeah, to keep this at a pretty even pace, going to Sahasrahla will be really, really vital.
So you can try the bomb dupe and Randomizer. That's always a fun stunt. No, it's gonna play it safe. And look at that, there's a bubble right there to make it a bad idea too.
Mm-hmm.
And fire snakes, and extra skulls, and my goodness, this is why you don't try it in Randomizer.
Lag, why?
We see when there's a lot of enemies on screen, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System has a super little problem.
Okay, what do we got in here? Red mail and red rupee.
This is very exciting. Alright, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It looks like it's probably Catfish.
Yep, going to Catfish.
Oof, so the Thieves Town hint tile making all the difference in this race right now. Sometimes it's something as small as that one hint. The one hint to tell you the thing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
But where was the boots requiring, or in a chest requiring a specialist to unlock, huh? Huh?
Yeah, really.
Where was that hint?
Probably in the shopping mall in the Dark World.
Probably.
Half magic. I almost forgot about that.
So, I mean, it's nice to have these items, but it's not what we need.
Okay. Flute to 5? Okay, he's getting ether.
Alright. This could be interesting though, because there are a lot of factors that can come into play in Ganon's Tower that balance this race out. very quickly.
Definitely.
Because if the big key, the earlier the big key is, the worse it's going to be for Mentos if he doesn't get this second sword in House of Darkness.
Yeah, really. Because, yeah, I did see chat kind of discussing it. It does seem like Mentos is kind of at least, checking some extra chests along the way. But I think this setup pretty much will give him the big key before the sword upgrades. So because of that, there is a chance he can miss it. But if he keeps checking, he should be fine.
The Dark Maze is probably the most likely place for him to skip, though, so
Yeah.
we'll see. There's so much mystery right now, and it's all comes down to what Mentos does in this one dungeon.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it comes down to, for sure.
The big key in Pawn, he was either in the tutor room or the dark basement, one of the two. So we're gonna get it here pretty soon. Once again, the drive-by shadow guys from Ice Palace, knocking people down.
Yeah.
Pits. There's the big key. He is going to check the basement.
Okay.
If he goes through the dark maze, then he might be fine. And yep, Mentos does. I mean, Sabo remembers the hint from Desert Palace, so he's just gonna grab that key and head straight to the big key.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of like hints like that in the hints, just to have, like, information of what I don't have to do or where I can go to, like, immediately.
Mentos is skipping the sword.
Oh, boy.
These two, like... Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, there's still 2 in Ganon's tower, so he should be able to get another one, I'm sure.
Yeah, but if that doesn't show up earlier than the big key, this is going to be very, very close, because it takes about the same amount of time to go through Dark Mire as it's going to take for Mentos to get to the whatever's in Helmsor's place. This is going to be extremely tight.
Yeah, this will be a really, really close race.
This is going to come down to Ganon's tower and execution. Oh, baby!
Execution in Ganon's tower and Aga tower on top of that, too.
Let's see how familiar these guys are with NMG. Except there's Randomizer, so that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. That kind of Randomizer kind of throws that out the window a little bit.
Muscle memory, what's that? Let's just remembering to run up here and deal with the switch to make sure it's in the proper position. Man, it's rough though, because if the sword is on the way to the GT Big Key, then that's still an advantage for Sabo, because he'll end up with Tempered.
Yeah, Tempered is so much faster than Master Sword.
Especially in Randomizer, where you're going to be dealing with who knows what in the GT Ascent. And he has Earth Magic for spamming medallions too.
Yeah, that's another... Oh, we already knew these bosses, never mind. I was like, wait, new bosses. Oh, wait, no, we saw them both.
Richard's getting a little away from him there, but everything's okay. You can get him away from him.
There we go.
Really not wanting to behave.
Shovel!
So, Lambo in the Vitreous arena is kind of interesting, because Vitreous doesn't have the whole damage near him thing going on as part of him. That's just part of the room in Misery Mire.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't stand in the ideal spot for dealing with the Lamos without hurting yourself.
To answer your question in chat, it was Mentosman that picked the settings for this race. He is the higher seed, so he got the game 1 pick, and Sabo will have the game 2 pick.
So Sabo and Mentos mere seconds apart at this point. And it's kind of hilarious how much extra time Sabo had to check these important little side spots that got him all these nice convenience items that Mentos would really, really like to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, I think what's probably hurt Mentos the most at this point was making that extra chip on Death Mountain for nothing more than killing Helmslor on top of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, as we're seeing right now, the difference between these two, it's not much. It basically, the extra time on Helmslor was basically canceled out by Sabo not checking the Thieves' Town hint, so both very, very close.
That sword, man. That sword!
Yeah.
Just seeing it there, and like, Mentos must be sweating bullets at this point to still not have another second sword going in against Tower.
Yeah, definitely.
Sword mode is the worst feeling, because, you know, if your opponent managed to get that, then the time save potential in GT is massive.
Especially because you have no idea what type of enemies you're going to get, either.
So how many Wall Masters are we expecting in the Ascent?
A lot of them.
Probably.
But yeah, as for Ganon's Tower, the 3 bosses in Ganon's Tower are also going to be randomized here, so it won't be the Light World bosses. We could still see Trinex, we could still see Argus. They're very much possible to be seen in the 3 boss rooms in here.
Oh my goodness, they're even routing Ganon's Tower identically. So speaking of, I know it wasn't explicitly mentioned, but the numbers are flying in chat for the old guessing game. But this isn't one of the speed gaming channels, so we don't have the bot. But hey, feel free to throw in those guesses for the GT Big Key if you want anyways.
Yeah. Guess to your heart's content.
Oh look, there's one already. Hi, Wallmaster. That didn't take long. Every chest is just filling Mentos with more and more anxiety about swords.
Yeah, and Sabo took less time to finish up that room too, so he is catching up. That sword making a huge difference.
This spike and a Wallmaster. Wow. So this room's rude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ouch. And the anti-fairy right there, just to be a bit more of a nuisance. Hi,
Our
Quake.
final medallion.
Just kind of hanging out in GT, being all like, I wish I was important.
I wish I opened a dungeon.
That and Pengators, it's pretty much the 2 uses for Quake ever.
Yeah.
And shaking through 10 trees without the boots, I guess.
Still no big key.
Also no sword. The nerves must be increasing more and more right now. Mentos not quaking the bonk to avoid the petting zoo, so off he goes. Didn't even bother to pick up the 5 arrows while he was there.
At least he got those 5.
Oh god, that 0 is so rude!
Chain Chomp! Oh, oh, okay. I was like, wait, is that a Wallmaster? Or no, that's a Stalfos.
And Bob, well, Glitch Bob, going ahead and leaving a sword for Mentosman so he can get that Master Sword finally before taking on Isa. Yeah, Cold Stare here.
Huh.
But this is going to be Tempered Sword for Sabo, so this is going to be much easier for him.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Tempered Sword and Half Magic for this Ice Cold Stare fight. The difference here is going to be pretty huge.
Also, Cold Stare on icy floor.
It's almost like it was meant to be. Get up there. Oh yeah, gets that spin attack and a couple of good slashes off. Very nicely done, Sabo.
Wow, sab0tender on ice.
Putting on a show as if it really was something that you pay for.
Oh wow, really nice.
And there's the big key. So yeah, that sword advantage is looking more and more enormous by the minute.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, the half magic coming into play here too. Mentos has no magic left, so I mean he'll be able to. This means he's gonna have to go stop by the safety room on the way up. Honestly, I'm hoping there's no wall masters in these sets. It's so annoying.
Right.
Hinox being a pal, taking out a couple of enemies for us.
Yeah, about a 2-room difference. Or well, now 1-room difference between these guys.
These spike traps just getting in the way of everything. Oh, I
Thieves!
didn't even notice all the thieves. You don't need bombs for these sent, right? Yeah, let me borrow those.
Well, we need one. We need one for that one wall, but
You've come to the wrong neighborhood.
Sabo not needing to go to the safety room. We are in the same room.
Ah, now see, this is where Ether would come in handy. 3 of these guys and a Gibdo, that is just an insta-kill for Ether, but instead they're gonna just hit him with the swords.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this earlier, but yeah, those shadow guys tend to love appearing in these rooms in Ganon's Tower.
Another room where Ether would have been good. And let me guess, another one? Yup. Just use Ether. Just use Ether. Use this less magic. Ah! Oh, Randomizer. Rewarding the really obscure game knowledge as to what medallion does what. Okay, this one's a bit more of a bombos though. So Silver Arrow is probably the best form of offense this time.
And Sabo takes the room lead now. And who is going to be our boss?
Ooh, it's not one of the ones that gives you a sneak peek. Every now and then you'll be coming down this hallway and you'll be able to see what the boss is. It's just vanilla. Boo! But of course, Sabo stopping to pick up the fairy with the magic powder actually desynced the landmos as if this were a proper run.
And that Mentos did it in less cycles, so Mentos retakes the lead again.
Hey! Samaria's strats do work with this setup.
Hey, yeah, they do.
Slightly different twist on the same old thing. Two more arrows to get sabotaged. Like, they're even pretty much even on supplies. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy.
This room thankfully being merciful. This particular room can sometimes be a massive problem in Randomizer if it decides to spawn a spike trap or something in that middle area.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've seen chain chomps there before. That's been pretty scary. Of course, with no half magic once again, Mentos had to slow down to pick up the refill, whereas Sabo did not. So, all these little time advantages just coming from the convenience
Oh,
items.
and Mentos looking for potentially another sword.
He really doesn't want to have to deal with Master Sword Silver's cannon. I don't blame him.
Yeah, definitely not. That would even out this race even more if he does find one here.
And it's really possible, because I mean, like, we've seen almost everything in the game, so there's a very good chance that another sword is up here.
Yeah, there's...
And I guess what this is said, 2 vanilla bosses? Are you kidding me?
Ooh, okay. No, Mentos is gonna have just Master Sword.
Oof, and that makes it take a lot longer to finish off Monorm 2. The advantage is growing bigger and bigger just from having done Pod earlier on Sabo's side.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Michael K in the point has a chat. Excuse me, in the point has a chat. I could speak this morning about, that Monorm not quite being vanilla. It did have a bit of an extra eye thing going on there.
Yeah. I think that's a new edition of Randomizer where it'll just give Moldorm a random number of eyes per seed.
It's kind of... It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just having a really good time with these Aga patterns. Both of them, really.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mentos is keeping up despite the sword difference, but he is going to have to get a little bit ahead if he wants to, still have a chance, because that Ganon fight is going to be much faster for Sabo. Also,
yeah, they both gotta remember to mirror.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Yes, they need to remember to mirror and not jump down.
Okay, it looks like Sabo remembered. Will Mentos remember? Yes, he will. Okay.
Ooh, he got kind of close to the edge there.
Don't go say hello to Ganon, or he'll be making fun of you about waxing your ears. Oh, look, it's another room that would be easily solved with the ether medallion. And another one. I'm just gonna keep singing the praises of ether medallion.
Hey, I'm a fan too, especially in Randomizer.
It is, like... This really brings out the usefulness of it, just because it was faster cast time. Bombos is not worth using in most of these instances. Ether is, like, a third of the time spent? Pulling out those silver arrows. Gonna have to be careful not to use too many. Of course. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So, Slim, with all the, all Dungeons races going on at the start of these brackets, what do you figure of this? Actually having to do everything in the game every single time.
I definitely, respect people wanting to do this more, because I think it is interesting to go through the entire game, and I can definitely see the value of doing it, especially if you're kind of like on the, the top end of the seed numbers, because, you've got there due to your execution, and all dungeons, I think, is the best test of execution, because it kind of limits the randomness a little bit, since you have to go to all dungeons. So I do definitely like that we're seeing a lot more of it.
It's kind of funny. Of the few that I've watched so far, orphaning anything has been disastrously costly. Like, not bothering to just go finish Pod when he had the chance. This is going to be what costs Mentos if Sabo doesn't end up falling Ganon, because this is too close. The Master Sword will make the difference.
Yep, Aghanim literally zapping Zelda on both screens. So yeah, this is really close, and it comes down to that sword.
But there's still a lot of potential here. I mean, there are lots of ways that Ganon could go badly, so we will see. Mentos, please. Getting a little bit of swag at him coming down here at the end. Might as well get that practice in for swordless right away, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Already up to 2 blue balls. Everybody's favorite wizard. Being as generous as ever. With, you know, he really wants to make sure that we spend lots of quality time here. He has a lot of stories to tell. Lots of catching up to do with his favorite hero. He just wants to hear about the entire adventure they had, about how they saw an old man that gave them a shiny coin that summons lightning, about those boots they found locked in a secure chest.
And all the small amounts of rupees they found and all the bosses that they fought to get here.
Yeah, it's just like, they saw all these warning dead or alive posters posted throughout the kingdom and all these reward prizes, but they forgot to factor in the exchange rate, so...
Okay, here we go.
That's synced sword spin, by the way.
Yeah.
Start your day smiling with a delicious whole grain breakfast created for your incredible insides! That might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And both of them get in this nice corner RNG, but Sabo's the one that actually gets to make use of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to the nature of Master Sword Ganon, it takes a lot more spins to get to those next phases, so Sabo is now a phase ahead of Mentos right now.
Sabo even has the red mail, so he can actually show that he loves fire bats a bit more. So it's really not too far behind as, well, actually, yeah, Mentosman8 didn't get quite enough spins in at the end there. So he still has one more phase of fire bats to go through.
Here we go, last phase. Ooh!
Perfectly timed! My heart can't take it, Slim.
Yeah, I know, right? He does get him down, though, and it looks like sab0tender will be taking game 1, which actually makes this his second win of the group stage so far. He did have a match last night, which he did win, so great starting to show, great starting for him on this group stage.
And with that, sab0tender is the winner of this race with an official time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 27 seconds. With Mentos coming pretty close behind here, he just has to get those silver arrows off and all will be well.
Yeah, he will be finishing very, very shortly, so very close for both runners here. Ooh, nice triple to close it off, too.
Triple with the Master Sword, that is not easy. That is a nice little swag way to finish off your round. And there we go. So the 2:13.09 Mentosman will be finishing off in a close second place. The sword from Palace of Darkness making all the difference in the universe.
Yeah, it made such a difference. They were so close to each other the whole way, but then that Ganon fight is where it all came down, and Sabo had that sword advantage. And yeah, enjoy the credits, as we'll see a lot of very messed up enemies and other creatures.
Alright, just see. Got Mentosman in the waiting room, seeing if sab0tender's gonna go ahead and join in there too. As we'll be hopefully talking to both of these gentlemen soon.
And we're actually joined by Mentosman8 right away. Man, that was such a close race. And here's our winner of the race as well, sab0tender. Guys, that was an incredible race.
Yeah, unreal. GG's, Mentos.
Right back at you. I knew you were going to be someone who I would finish up real close with, and that was closer than expected.
You know, I can't even believe how that I took this. We had a 20-minute stream delay, and I still haven't come down from how excited and nervous I was this whole time. I figured I was probably going to be in GT when Mentos was going to hit the dot done. And I would have been super happy with that. I would have thought, he had the upper hand on me the entire way, and I was, just a couple minutes behind, but it got closer and closer. And I thought, oh my God, he's not done. What's going on here?
So, this was a very interesting tale between the two of you, and it comes down to two exact choices in the whole race. Mentosman checking the Thieves Town hint tile, and Sabo, you going to and clearing out Pod ahead of time and finding that third sword that made all the difference during the ending segments of the game.
So what was the hint tile in the...
That was
Held
the
by someone friendly.
Ether held by someone friendly.
Really?
Yep.
yeah. When I was at the point where I saw that I had Catfish and Sahasrara left, so I beeline TR when I got entrance, and then kind of carried on with Ether through Mire. Pod was my last dungeon.
Oh, I see. Wow. It's going to look really different than how we decided to wrap.
Very different, yeah.
Yep, Mentos was playing very aggressive. Every time he got a piece of a progression that would allow him to full clear a dungeon, he was just straight there. Like, every single time, going straight to that one, and then that one, and with the Thieves' Town hint, he was able to pick up Ether right away, go straight to Mire, just boom, one after the other after the other.
That's really interesting. When it comes to Randomizer, at the first little part of the seed, I forgot that it was all dungeons as well. So I saw Pod early on, and I thought, oh no, it's a pendant. I'm not going to go in there. And then I obviously remembered that it was. I picked up the bow. I think I can't remember where that was, but I picked it up, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to go for Pod because I can take care.
I believe Bo was the chess game in the podcast.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of items, I had to wonder, gentlemen, your sheer relief when finding the ice rod when you still had many dungeons left.
Oh, thank God, yeah.
It wasn't required at all, but...
Yeah, I can't believe that.
A single Trinex in the entire game. What is this? I didn't sign up for this Chaos Boss Shuffle.
I gotta say, it was a relief to find that ice rod, but I kind of wish I hadn't, because then I would have got Tempered Sword.
Oh, yeah.
He was just in the Dark Maze Pod. He was calling to you, but you said no.
Yeah, I mean, because being that was your last dungeon, yeah, that makes sense that you would skip that. It's really too bad because we would have been it would have been neck and neck right through that Ganon fight as well, which would have just been unreal. It was close enough as it was.
Yeah, really.
It was so close. It was just the entire Ganon's Tower segment for you two was a tug of war, back and forth, with who's a little ahead of who.
Oh, and I'm so sorry about not using Ether against all of those shadows.
You were listening. Good. The sheer lack of Ether on both sides. I
gotta ask, even just, I guess, both of you definitely had some issues with the Tower of Hera Helmasaur. Mentos especially taking on that without the bow, just hammer. So, man, how was that? What was going through your head during that?
Mostly, hey, it would be really nice if Helmasaur took damage while he was right over top of this hole instead of being invincible.
Helmasaur on both of your guys' sides, just relentlessly camping that hole to make sure you could not get any mask damage off or any damage in general.
Yeah, no kidding.
I bought those 2 blue potions before going back for round 2, thinking, okay, I might need to use one of these. And then he just refused to give me space to hit and kept chipping me down. It's like, okay, I'll use them both.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, very, very, very nicely done, you both. That was a very fun and entertaining race to watch, especially this being the first Randomizer race of the tournament. So it was definitely really cool to not only broadcast this mode, but just to see a really close race because of that. Because literally anything can happen in Randomizer. Dying in overworld, dying deep in a dungeon, not really being ready for the enemy setups, and just to see it come down this close was really, really fun.
Oh my goodness. There's one room that I'm curious that both you guys
Oh, yeah,
had nice little reaction to. So, the Ice Palace Switch room with the, 4 BMOs.
That was the best room I've ever seen Randomizer give.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
like you step on highest security switch in the whole game.
I like when I was in that room, the bully, the thief, actually, he knocked me out of the way of a beam, so I thought that was very nice.
Get down, Mr. President!
Definitely took a bullet for me there.
But sadly, in this All Dungeons race, there was only one pedestal pulled. Disappointed.
Come on, Mentos.
I was going to, but I forgot to check it when I was coming out of Skull Woods, and then by the time I got my 3rd pendant, I was in go mode. And I'm like, sab0tender is going to win if I go waste time pulling the pedestal for memes.
But you had enough meme potential for the bug net on Aga, so okay.
Oh my goodness, this scene though, just tormenting you two when it comes to swords. Like, having that one sword visible on Zor's ledge when you had to go over there to get the Moon Pearl anyways. It's just like, please give me that.
Yeah, so mean.
And then, of course, the boots being scurried away inside the purple chest with who even knows where the hint for that was? We were running out of options. There was only 3 left in the whole game.
And before it was the Aga Tower hint.
Possibly.
Probably.
It was either that, Meyer, and the Dark World shopping mall were the only ones not red.
But yeah, that will at least take this series to 1-0 to sab0tender's credit. This was Mentosman selection. Sabo is going to have game 2 selection. Any idea of when that race could expect to happen, or are you guys just going to wait it out? I mean, we have a lot of time. This is obviously just the 3rd day of the tournament, but
Well, yeah, we do have a fair bit of time to think about that. I think our schedules kind of work pretty well. This morning time kind of works for me every now and then. So we'll be able to fit our 2nd match in at some point, down the road. Man, I don't know what kind of game mode I'm going to pick here. I think I'm in tough anything I decide to pick. So I'm probably going to go with keys. I like keys. So just a heads up there, Mentos. That's probably what I'm going to do. Something key.
That's fair. I got to, I'll have some practice for that with Jet coming up tomorrow. That's going to be a nightmare.
Oh, man. Good luck with that one.
okay, well, sounds good. GG on your win, Sabo, especially for that being that's your 2nd win. You won last night too, didn't you?
Yeah, like what's going on here? I mean, I just squeaked into this 96 here, and now I'm 2-0. Like this run's got to end somewhere, probably in the next round.
Look, if I can somehow run all the way up to top 4 the last nonsense, you can do it. Just
Yeah.
keep doing your thing. It's obviously working.
Thanks.
And best of luck to you as well, Mentos. Do you have a match coming up later tonight? Is it, or when is your next match? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm going against Megawatt at 9:30 Eastern tonight, which is going to be real fun. He was seeded 31 in the qualifiers. I was 33, so we should be pretty close.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
That will be a race to watch for sure.
Gonna be another close one. It's just like all these nail biters. We're not gonna have any nails left.
No nails.
Oh.
But if anyone in this chat is hungry for more randomizer action, there was a race that actually started very recently on ALTTP Randomizer 2, Zero Rush versus Daring the Great. Looks like it's all dungeons inverted mode, so if you're interested in seeing that, definitely pop on over. But I think we are going to probably start closing this out. Any last words from you two before we start signing out here?
One more GG Sabo. That was real good. I can't wait for our next couple races. And also a thank you, as usual, to both PKR and Slim for the commentary. I'm sure it was excellent. I look forward to watching it back, as well as Michael and Nifboy for their part.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say GG's as well, Mentos. This was awesome. A really good start to our little 3-game set. And yeah, thanks a lot, you guys, for doing commentary and tracker and restream. It's excellent. Thanks so much.
And hey, if anybody wants to go ahead and follow any of those dudes, let's go ahead and get these going off. Do we have the chat in here? Yes,
Oh.
we do. There we go. Go ahead and get the links to everybody's Twitch accounts here in the chat for both the runners, Mentosman and sab0tender, and all the staff here working the commentary and tracking and restreaming.
Although I do think the runner links need to be updated, but still,
That's
definitely.
a little out of date.
Okay.
I knew Sabo and DT were the same
I
person.
knew it. Yeah. It makes so much sense.
This tournament is full of clones.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael K, for the restreaming, Nifboy for the tracking, and of course, it was a wonderful, silly time to commentate this with you, PKR. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, great job.
I always apologize, at least for my mild insanity. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, well, with that, I think we're going to see all you guys later. Have fun watching more tournament races, and we'll see you guys in Hyrule next time. Later, folks.
Bye!